It is Sunday, January 28th. So welcome to our weekly planning session with Coach Sherea. I am going to get started here. Let me see how I can. All right, so we're going to do a side by side today. Welcome. I'm just going to check the chat also. All right. Oops, I don't know where that came from. Let me get that off. Sorry about that. Can we get that off? Okay, there we go. All right, you guys, welcome to our weekly planning session. I am Sherea Vejan. I help individuals achieve their life goals while maintaining a healthy work-life balance. And I do that through teaching group coaching programs and hosting monthly goal challenges and live events. Today we are going to work on our planning for the week. And so the goal is to get the most out of your week by planning in advance, to stay on task with the life goals you set for yourself, to schedule your priorities rather than prioritizing your schedule, to create a consistent routine that will help you get more done throughout the week, to keep you accountable each week by setting aside a specific time to plan, to provide the resources and tools you need to plan a successful week, and to make sure you plan ahead for special holidays, birthdays, and special occasions. Those are the type of things that usually catch us off guard when we get that phone call and says, "Hey, I'm having a party this weekend." I'm like, "Oh, I forgot it was your birthday." And so getting ahead of that, you can plan your schedule so you're not doing things at the last minute. So before we begin, make sure you have all of your materials ready. If you are part of the 1 year success plan, make sure you visit Strategic Sundays, and all of the materials are in there. If you need your snacks or you get comfortable, make sure you're blocking out about 30 minutes with me, and maybe another hour and a half afterwards to do your meal planning, to go deeper into your budgeting. So we're going to touch it a little bit, and then afterwards you can complete all of your tasks before tomorrow. Again, get your drink, your coffee, your water, your smoothie. I already drank my coffee, so now I just have my water. And try not to, when you do your planning, depending on how you do planning. So this is how I do my planning. I like to physically write because it's also therapy for me. But depending on how you're doing your planning, try not to multitask. Try to be in a space where you're by yourself, because it is important. And if we treat it like it's not, we'll be doing this and cooking at the same time and doing this. Try to sit down, finish your calendar, finish your planning, and be done with it. All right, so let's get started. So repetition is a key to forming new habits. So each week, if you're here with me, you'll notice that we repeat the same core information every week. I add a few updates or specifics, but essentially we follow the same formula. So the goal is to establish a regular time and space to plan your upcoming week. And so when you see me pop up here, don't just be like, "Oh, Sherea's up there again." Just get your journal, get your planner, get your things together. And the goal is to eventually make this a working session, that you carve time out and plan your calendar. I like to do mine on Saturday. Just with my schedule, it was hard for me to be consistent and be online with you guys on Saturday. But I think Saturday is a good day to plan, because you have a whole extra day if you need to go shopping or if you need to do something else. With Sunday, you're getting ready for Monday, or you're getting ready for church or whatever it is that you have going on. But so I'm here with you Sundays. So you want to have your daily planner I did have an R. I guess it's down there. You want to have your 2024 daily planner. Again, if you're a part of the 1 Year Success membership or the Strategic Sundays, you should have that inside of the portal. So make sure you download that before you, before you come on to the sessions. And so after the session, we'll be using our goals journal. We'll be using the planner. We'll be using your, do I have that? Your checklist. So inside of your planner, there is a checklist that you go through every Sunday. And then have you ever had one of these weeks? You get where you're going, you be like, oh, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot it was her birthday. Oh, I forgot it was my kid's concert this weekend. And not only did the concert itself come up, now you had to buy a ticket. You had to get your clothes ready. So now you're at the mall at the last minute. So this is why we want to plan in advance. So our schedule is not planning us. We are planning in advance. So it gets easier spending more time planning and less time in emergency mode. I like to start with reflection. Since becoming a John Maxwell coach, there was a chapter in his book, The 15 Laws of Growth. I think it was chapter 4, where he starts everything with reflection. You start your day with reflection. You start your month with reflection. You start your year with reflection. You start the day with reflection, the night, hey, how did this go? And so there is a reflection worksheet that you have. And the questions are, what was my overall mood last week? How did I do in regards to my goal progression? Did I achieve the following? I achieved the following last week. And then for next week, could I do anything better to see better results? What do I need to stop doing? Sometimes it's not what you are doing. Sometimes it's what we need to stop doing. And so you want to spend some time reflecting on last week. Maybe last week was awesome and you want to duplicate that. Maybe last week sucked and you need to fix it. And so for me, last week I felt the same way last week that I did the week before. I was a little overwhelmed, but accomplished. I felt like I was getting a lot of things done, but I felt so behind. But I have 2 accountability groups, and I'm accountability out. They are keeping me accountable. Hey, you said you was going to get on the treadmill. Did you get on it? Hey, you said you was going to do keto. Did you get on it? Let's see. Show your work. You have the accountability group that makes you show your work. And so, yes, last week with my 2 accountability teams checking up on me. Did you do your social media like you said? Did you do this like you said? Did you finish that book? And so I felt like I was accomplished, but a little overwhelmed, but it's okay. So this week I want to feel more in control of the week. I don't know if that's going to happen this year because I have some big, big, big goals. And so you want to reflect and expect. Reflect and expect. Reflect on last week and what are you expecting this week? And whatever you're expecting this week, make room for it. Make room for what it is you're expecting this week. But I always start my planning with a pause. Plan with a pause. So birthdays, events. Do you forget important birthdays, events, anniversaries? Fellas and ladies, Valentine's Day is coming up. It's coming up February 14th. It's a weekday. Put it on the schedule now because you don't want your spouse to get to work and everybody's getting flowers delivered and you're like, oh, I forgot. Now you're spending extra money trying to deliver flowers. You're doing all this. So now February is Black History Month. It's coming up. And so when you start planning these things in advance and these things are in advance, you can add it to your calendar so you don't get caught off guard. So I always start with the birthday calendar and anniversary calendar. What birthdays are coming up next week? And then what birthdays are coming up next month in February? So make sure you're putting that in your calendar. Make sure, and you have a birthday calendar and you have an anniversary calendar in your toolkit. And if you don't have the toolkit, I'll put a QR code up or later so you can get that. So in your planner, you have a space to put this week's goals, this week's priorities, your personal to-do list, your habit tracker. So I know last week my habit tracker was drinking water consistently, making sure I'm drinking my half my body weight in ounces, making sure I'm on the treadmill for 30 minutes, making sure I'm taking my vitamins. So those are the things that must happen in order for me to have a successful week. And so you want to have your habit tracker. And I like to print. I know I say this a lot. I like to physically print my journals out and write in it for more therapeutic. And I want to see it. I want to touch it. I want to view it. But you also can take that same PDF doc and put it into a GoodNotes app if you have your iPad. So you can put it up in your GoodNotes and just write on top of it. So sometimes the weeks can be overwhelming when you're trying to remember to get the dinner and get the dry cleaning and take the kids to soccer practice. Oh, I ran out of eggs. Now you're making breakfast. You got everything ready. You're like, oh, I don't have any milk. So doing your meal planning, getting out your different calendars, your church calendar, the kids' school calendar, if you have a work calendar, and then your errands that you have to run, this week. Maybe you wash your car every week. Maybe you put your clothes in the cleaners every week. So putting those things on the calendar. And what's good about that is when you start to put it on there and it's legible and it makes sense, you can hand it to somebody. Hey, can you go pick this up and pick this up for me and pick this up from the grocery store or whatever? And it's already written out. I also like to have this little fun calendar. It's here. So I keep this little fun calendar. It's over there, celebrate every day. And it has special funny holidays like National Dog Day or National Pretzel Month or, so some of the things for this month is Hobby Month, Hot Tea Month. The month of January is Mentoring Month. And so if you have a business and you are a mentor, you are a coach, some of those things are good things to be aware of. So you can maybe add it into your business. Hey, did you know it was National Mentoring Month? Or maybe during National Mentoring Month, you're going live every day, giving some mentoring tips. It's National Soup Month, Slow Cooking Month. So in this fun calendar, it tells you some special little fun holidays or special fun events, National Pastrami Day. And so keeping those things in mind so that you participate or just add some fun to your life period. So again, making sure like me, I have my church calendar, making sure I go through, because we have like a Grow notebook, having that church calendar, plugging that in. I have a separate calendar for church. And then I have my accountability calendar and making sure I'm plugging that in. And so getting that in before Monday. And then your budget. I use every dollar for budgeting, but review your monthly bills. So now you should be kind of getting ready to close out January and then looking at your February bills. You want to know what's due next week. And then you also want to start planning for next month, February, because that first be hitting and my phone goes off. I got Audible. I got all these things I subscribe to that's due on the first of the month. And it's just like, your account has been, your account is withdrawn. So the first is like a new year. So you want to keep in mind your automatic payments that's coming out. Again, your holidays, your birthdays, because if you plan just for other things and you don't plan for these last minute events that might include other things, you might have to drive somewhere. It may cost you another $60, especially if you're out here in California. Meal planning. Meal planning can save you, now depending on how you do your meals. I know a lot of people are eating out and DoorDash and, but the benefits of meal planning, it allows you to eat healthier, hopefully, reduce food waste, to cut costs, to save time, to eliminate stress. And inside of your kit, you have a weekly meal planner. And there's some meal planning services. There's emails, which is what I use to help kind of plan meals, give me some ideas. I cook every day. I could benefit from some other things, but so I don't use any DoorDash or any meal services. I should. And then you can also have weekly routines with your meals. Maybe you're having every Monday is Meatless Monday. Maybe every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. Maybe every Thursday is Crockpot Thursday. I have an accountability call on Monday. So I might change my Monday from Friday instead of having fast food on Friday, having that on Monday so I can take my calls on Monday. Salad Saturday. Those of you who don't get your salads in, you need to dedicate Saturday to getting those greens in. And then Celebration Sunday, just carb it up. Monday through Friday, I'm not doing carbs. Friday night, I do carbs after 6. But Sunday is a day to eat my sweets, my whatever to go in. And then goal setting. I feel like we set our goals in January. We do our vision boards. We do all this grand hoopla, and then that's it. We forget about our goals. And so using the 2024 goals journal, like this month, we're focused on our health and fitness. And so for the whole year, we go through 12 life categories and we break that up into 7 steps. And so our goal timeline is this month, we're working on our health and fitness. This week, starting tomorrow, you should be celebrating your success. So our timeline stays the same. The goal category changes. So the 1st through the 7th, you should have been writing out your health and fitness goals. The 8th through the 14th, you should be researching the books, magazines, websites that you need to accomplish those goals. The 15th through the 18th, you should have been writing out your health affirmations. The 19th through the 22nd, you should have been creating your routines, your monthly, your yearly routines, setting up your dentist appointments, setting up your setting up your female appointments, male, setting up your male appointments that are annually. So for your chiropractor, whatever it is that you need to set up for your weekly, yearly, and monthly routines as far as your health is concerned, you want to go ahead and put that in your goal calendar, and then you want to plug that into your calendar. I usually try to make my dentist appointments like already for March and April. So I've already made those appointments and they're already on the calendar. Creating your vision board. If you created your vision board in December or January, take some time to review that. Or if you want to make a special vision board, I have my regular vision board, which is here in the back of me, and then I'll have a mini vision board based on a certain topic or certain subject like health and fitness. You can have your own vision board for that. And celebrating your success. Now, we talked about that, setting up your routines. Goal setting is easier when you have routine set up, just like getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth, and washing your face becomes automatic. Having certain things, maybe you want to enhance your marriage relationship. And so dedicating Mondays to work on your marriage. So you call that Marriage Monday. Every Monday, you're going to do something for your marriage. Maybe you're going to watch a movie. Maybe you're going to have coffee together. Maybe you're going to have breakfast. Maybe you have some conversation cards that you want to go through for an hour or 30 minutes. Maybe you want to read a devotional together. So dedicating Mondays to your marriage, and it doesn't have to be long. It could be 30 minutes. It could be, let's take a drive and go through drive-through and get some Starbucks coffee and have a conversation or ask a question. Meatless Monday. And so if we're working on our health, just one routine at a time. You know what? Every Monday for the whole year in 2024, I'm not going to eat meat. I'm going to be meatless. And Meatless Monday is interesting because we did that for a couple of years. It makes you think about other alternatives that you can eat, that you can do. Money Monday. If you're working on your finances, this is a time where you said, okay, I'm going to sit for an hour or 45 minutes and work on my money. And you can either physically work on it, your budget, or maybe you're working on your money team. Maybe you need to get a new accountant. Maybe you need to get a new, budgeting software. Spend some time on Mondays at a certain time to work on your money. Take a break Tuesday. For those of you who are overworked, overwhelmed, make sure on Tuesdays you spend some time to take a break with yourself. Maybe it's an hour, 45 minutes. And so you want to take your weekly goal accountability tracker, and based on the goals that you created for yourself, you want to create a routine. And this is not a calendar. It is a place for you to start your routine so you can stay on track. What are you reading? What are you reading next week? I'm a part of, I think, 4 book clubs. One particular book club, they read every morning at 4 a.m. So we read 10 pages a day, and we discuss the book from 4:45 to 5. We discuss from 4:45 to 5, but from 4 a.m. to 4:45, people are in the group actually reading, like a live audible. And so if you are struggling with reading, join an accountability group, join a book club. I'm also a part of Sarah Jake's book club. And so this is what I'm reading. I've been working on Dream Big with God, a devotional I wrote with my daughter. I'm writing still. So reading that every day. Feel Better Fast. It's a book about brain health. I'm working on some self-love affirmations. And so I've been reading this. And then a part of my accountability group, we are reading 100 Million Offers. And I'm doing both physical books and audible books on those. So I have all of them. All right, so here's some tips for this week. For me, I could probably save so much time if I did DoorDash. I probably could save so much time if I had a maid. Yesterday I spent a lot of time cleaning, and if I could have spent that same time here working on my business, I probably would have made a little bit more money. And if I had Instacart, someone to buy my groceries for me, I just personally don't feel comfortable at this time. We've had housekeepers before, and we're at a space right now where we're not doing that right now. And so we're doing everything on our own. We're doing our own shopping. We're doing our own cleaning. We're doing our own laundry. But those things will help me get more time. So for you, here's some tips. Set up alerts and reminders. Use digital tools. Because even when I do my planning, I also put it in my phone on my Google Calendar, so I get alerts on the things that I have set. So after I plan my week, I also put it in Google Calendar. Use checklist. Also keep a to-don't list. We have a to-do list, but what about what we not gonna do? What we not gonna do is, and then stay flexible. Before, back in the day, if it wasn't on the calendar, I wasn't doing it. And I'm like, oh, it's not on my calendar. Oh, it's not on my calendar. Oh, it's not on my calendar. But sometimes you also miss opportunities for it not being in your calendar. And so, yes, you want to plan, but you want to be flexible and keep some space available for things that might be important that are last minute. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You might be approached by somebody saying, hey, I got an opportunity, but you need to come right now. You need to fly out right now. Have your things ready. Have your passport ready. Have your bag ready. Because you want to expect your goals. Let's see. Have no interruption zones. So again, as you're planning your week, try to be by yourself. Try to get into a space where you're not interrupted, so you can go ahead and plan it out, knock it out, and then work your week, win the week, instead of the week being overwhelming. Some resources that are available to you, of course, the 2024 Goals Journal. Then we have the 2024 Planner. I also, when planning my week, I have specific song selections that I like that keep me focused. So I have a Strategic Sundays, way different than my other playlist. It's more of an instrumental type playlist. There's some Christian instrumental, there's some opera, there's some things. And so I have a Strategic Sunday list. You can use my list to start with. It's on Spotify. And then create your own. I also have a business marketing calendar. For those of you who have a business, you want to plan out your press releases, if you're still doing those, your Instagram posts, and then these are good. Again, so it may be National Dog Washing Day and you have a dog washing business and you want to be up on that. That's an opportunity to get a press release on that. Some other digital resources, Monday.com, Asana, Todoist, Notion. There's a lot of digital programs out there, digital resources that help you plan. Again, I just love to physically write, and then I use the Google Calendar for like my reminders. So yes, thank you guys for joining me today, for spending your Sunday with me or watching the replay. Remember, it was not raining when Noah built the ark. You know, he was ready. He was ready for when the rain came because he planned in advance. He listened and he was obedient. I'm just gonna look at the chat real quick. All right. Any questions this morning? Good morning. All right. I'm going to put the QR code up if you want to get the planner. I think I'm going to put it up. Yeah, so there's the QR code for the weekly planning. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Yeah, so if you want to get the planner, if you need to get the 2024 goals journal, that just scan that QR code and you will get all of the downloads for that. If you have any questions, if you don't have any questions, I'm looking at the chat. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. All right, you guys, happy Sunday, and I will see you next Sunday at 7:30 a.m.